It's 2 in the morning. The house is quiet. The world is asleep. But you're awake. You're standing in the dim light of the bathroom for the second, maybe even the third time tonight, and you're thinking the same frustrating thought, didn't I just do this an hour ago? If that sounds familiar, then this video is one of the most important you will ever watch. For decades, as a doctor, I've sat across from men just like you. Good men, hardworking men in their 60s, 70s, and 80s, who all start the conversation with the same quiet concerns. They talk about the urgency, that sudden rush that sends you searching for a restroom. They describe that frustrating stop and start flow, a stream that feels weak, incomplete. And they tell me about the exhaustion that comes from having their sleep shattered night after night. The first thing almost every man says is, "Doc, I guess this is just part of getting older." And that is where I stop them. Because while age is certainly a factor, it is often not the main story. It's not the primary reason for your discomfort. The real story is being written in the small choices you make without a second thought every single day. Think of your daily life as a collection of small streams. Some of those streams nourish your health, while others are slowly and silently eroding it, contributing to inflammation and putting pressure on your prostate. You don't feel it happening today or tomorrow. But over the years, the damage adds up. In this video, we are going to identify those streams. We will count down the 10 most common and most damaging of those daily habits that can silently enlarge your prostate. And I need you to stay with me, because habit number 1 is the one most men overlook, yet it is, by far, the most dangerous. This isn't about blame. It's not about making you feel scared. My goal is to give you a roadmap, a guide to understanding your own body and the power you have to protect the healthy, comfortable life you deserve. So please grab a glass of water, get comfortable, and watch this until the very end. Let's begin. All right, let's dive into our countdown, starting with a habit that seems completely logical, but is actually working against you. Habit number 10, ignoring thirst and staying dehydrated. It seems to make sense, doesn't it? If you feel like you're constantly running to the bathroom, especially at night, the simplest solution seems to be drink less. Many men I talk to intentionally limit their fluid intake after dinner, hoping to buy themselves a few extra hours of uninterrupted sleep. But this common strategy is a major misstep, and here is the scientific reason why. When you don't drink enough water, your body doesn't stop producing urine. It just produces more concentrated urine. It becomes darker, more acidic, and full of waste products. Think of this concentrated urine as a harsh irritant. Every time your bladder fills with it, that delicate, sensitive lining is being washed with a substance that is abrasive. It's like using fine, grit sandpaper on a soft surface. This constant irritation creates a state of low-grade inflammation in the bladder. Now, remember where your prostate is located. It sits directly beneath the bladder, sharing nerves and blood supply. When the bladder is chronically inflamed and sending out distress signals, the prostate is the first neighbor to feel it. The inflammation can easily spread, causing the prostate tissue itself to swell and become irritated. This problem is compounded in seniors for 2 reasons. First, our natural thirst mechanism weakens as we age. You might be dehydrated long before you actually feel thirsty. Second, many seniors are on medications for conditions like high blood pressure, diuretics, for example, that actively pull water out of the body, so you're losing more fluid while feeling less of an urge to replace it. It's a perfect storm for dehydration. The solution isn't to drink a huge bottle of water right before bed. The key is consistent, gentle hydration throughout the day. Keep a water bottle with you. Take small sips every 15 to 20 minutes. Don't wait for thirst to be your guide. A simple rule of thumb is to check your urine color. If it's a pale, light yellow, you're doing great. If it's dark yellow or amber, your body is telling you it needs more water. Don't fear water. It is your body's natural flushing mechanism. It keeps your urine diluted and calm, which in turn keeps your bladder and prostate calm as well. Next up, habit number 9. This involves something you are likely doing this very second, and it's putting a slow, physical squeeze on your prostate health. Habit number 9, sitting for long hours without movement. Whether it's your favorite recliner for watching the game, the driver's seat during a long commute, or the desk chair where you read the news. Prolonged sitting has become the default posture of modern life. But our bodies were not designed for this. When you sit for extended periods, your entire body weight presses down on the pelvic floor. This area is a complex network of muscles, nerves, and blood vessels, and it's also home to your prostate. Imagine a garden hose with a heavy stone placed on top of it. The flow of water is restricted. The same thing happens in your pelvis. That constant pressure physically compresses the blood vessels, dramatically reducing blood flow to the prostate gland. Why does this matter? Proper circulation is everything. It delivers oxygen and vital nutrients for tissue repair, and just as importantly, it carries away metabolic waste products. When blood flow is poor, those waste products build up, creating a toxic, inflammatory environment. The prostate tissue is being starved of what it needs and steeped in what it doesn't. Over months and years, this chronic inflammation can directly contribute to benign prostatic hyperplasia, or BPH, the clinical term for an enlarged prostate. For seniors, the problem is often worse. A sedentary lifestyle leads to weaker pelvic floor muscles. When these muscles are weak, you lose the ability to fully empty your bladder. That small amount of leftover urine sits in the bladder, becoming stagnant, further irritating the bladder wall, and you guessed it, the prostate right below. The solution is remarkably simple. It's not about running a marathon. It's about interrupting the sitting. Set a timer on your phone for every 30 minutes. When it goes off, just stand up. That's it. Walk to the kitchen for a sip of water. Stretch your arms overhead. Do a simple side bend. Anything to take that direct pressure off your pelvis for just 60 seconds. This tiny habit, repeated throughout the day, keeps the blood moving, strengthens your muscles, and gives your prostate the break it desperately needs. Don't let a quiet lifestyle create a noisy health problem. Your movement is medicine. All right, let's talk about habit number 8. This one is centered around a ritual that millions of us, myself included, cherish every single morning. Habit number 8, drinking too much caffeine. That first warm, aromatic cup of coffee in the morning feels essential. It's a ritual. It wakes us up. And one cup is generally fine for most people. The problem isn't the single cup, it's the second, third, and fourth cup, the afternoon iced tea, the evening soda that adds up to a constant barrage of caffeine throughout the day. Caffeine is a well-known diuretic. This means it signals your kidneys to produce more urine faster. This forces your bladder to fill up more quickly and work overtime, but it's also a direct bladder irritant. For a man with an already sensitive or enlarged prostate, caffeine acts like a flicking finger against the bladder wall, increasing feelings of urgency and frequency. It makes your bladder feel jumpy and overactive. But the damage doesn't stop there. Caffeine also has an effect on the smooth muscles in your body, including the muscle at the neck of your bladder. It can cause this muscle to tighten, creating a partial obstruction. So at the very moment your bladder is screaming, "I'm full," caffeine is simultaneously making it harder to empty it completely. This leads to a weaker stream and once again, that problem of residual urine being left behind to cause irritation. The result is a frustrating cycle. You feel the urge to go more often, but when you do, you can't fully relieve the pressure. And that pressure, of course, bears down on your prostate. The solution is not about total deprivation, it's about smart moderation. Make a simple rule for yourself. The first cup of the day is yours to enjoy. It's your ritual. After that, make a conscious switch. Try a high-quality decaf. Explore herbal teas like peppermint or chamomile, which are naturally caffeine-free and can be very soothing. Many men are shocked at how much their urinary symptoms, especially urgency and nighttime trips to the bathroom, improve within just 1 week of reducing their caffeine intake. It's about finding a balance that lets you enjoy your morning ritual without paying the price for it all day and all night. Now for habit number 7, which takes us from the coffee pot into the kitchen pantry. Habit number 7, eating spicy and processed foods daily. As we get older, our taste buds can diminish, and many people find themselves reaching for more intensely flavored foods to make meals enjoyable. A little spice, a little kick, it can make food exciting. But if your diet is consistently high in spicy foods, things made with hot peppers, chili powders, or fiery sauces, you could be fueling a fire inside your body. Spicy compounds can be inflammatory, While a healthy body can handle an occasional spicy meal, a regular diet of it can contribute to systemic, low-grade inflammation that affects your entire body, including, very specifically, the prostate gland. If your prostate is already enlarged or sensitive, spicy foods can directly irritate the tissue, often worsening urinary symptoms for a day or two after the meal. But the even bigger culprit in the modern diet is processed foods. I'm talking about anything that comes in a box, a bag, or a can with a long list of ingredients you can't pronounce. Frozen dinners, canned meats like Spam, hot dogs, chips, packaged pastries. Fast food, these items are loaded with preservatives, artificial flavors, excessive sodium, and unhealthy trans fats. These are not foods. They are food-like products engineered to be hyper-palatable. High sodium intake causes water retention, which increases pressure in your urinary system. The unhealthy fats and chemical additives can disrupt your delicate hormonal balance, particularly the ratio of testosterone to estrogen, which has a direct impact on prostate growth. If the majority of your meals are assembled from packages rather than prepared from fresh ingredients, your body is in a constant state of fighting off inflammation. The solution is to eat real food. Focus on an anti-inflammatory diet. That means colorful fruits and vegetables, especially leafy greens like spinach and kale, berries, healthy fats from avocados, nuts, and olive oil, lean proteins like fish and chicken. A healthy diet doesn't have to be bland. You can use a wide variety of herbs like garlic, turmeric, ginger, and oregano to add incredible flavor without the irritation. Think of it this way: every meal is a choice. You can either choose to fuel inflammation or you can choose to fight it. Making the right choice most of the time is one of the most powerful things you can do for your prostate. Habit number 6 is something we all do when life gets in the way, but doing it repeatedly can stretch and weaken your urinary system over time. Habit number 6, holding your urine for too long. You're driving on the highway and the next rest stop is 30 miles away. You're engrossed in a movie and you want to wait until the scene is over. You're in the middle of a project and you think, I'll just finish this one last thing. We all override our body's initial signals, but making a habit of it is a form of self-inflicted damage. Your bladder is an incredible organ. It's a muscular reservoir designed to stretch as it fills, but it has its limits. When you consistently hold your urine long after you feel the first urge to go, you are forcing that muscle to overstretch like an old rubber band. Over time, this repeated overstretching can weaken the bladder wall. A weakened bladder loses its ability to contract forcefully. This means that when you finally do go to the bathroom, the bladder can't squeeze out all the urine. This is a primary cause of incomplete emptying. That stagnant, leftover urine becomes a breeding ground for bacteria, which can lead to urinary tract infections. And a UTI is a major source of inflammation for both the bladder and the prostate. But there's also the issue of simple physics. As your bladder stretches to its maximum capacity, it physically expands, pushing down with immense pressure on the prostate gland right below it. Doing this day after day creates chronic irritation and can physically aggravate an already enlarged prostate, making all your symptoms worse. This is especially important for seniors because as we age, the muscles of the pelvic floor naturally lose some of their tone. They are already more vulnerable. Habitually overstretching the bladder accelerates this decline. The fix for this is about learning to listen to your body. When you feel that first, gentle signal that you need to go, respect it. Treat it not as an inconvenience, but as your body's polite request to maintain its health. Don't wait until the urge becomes desperate. This simple act of honoring your body's timing is a foundational habit for long-term urinary health. Your bladder and prostate work as a team. Don't put one of them under stress and expect the other to be fine. We're now at the halfway point. Habit number 5. This is one of the most destructive habits for every single organ in your body, but it has a particularly damaging relationship with the prostate. Habit number 5, smoking or inhaling secondhand smoke. By now, everyone knows the devastating effects of smoking on the lungs and the heart. But its toxic impact on the prostate is less talked about, and it is incredibly significant. Cigarette smoke contains thousands of chemicals, including dozens of known carcinogens and heavy metals like cadmium, When you smoke, these toxins are absorbed into your bloodstream and circulate throughout your entire body. They act like tiny little bombs, causing cellular damage, inflammation, and oxidative stress wherever they go. The prostate is a delicate gland with a rich blood supply, making it particularly vulnerable to these circulating toxins. The chemicals in smoke directly damage the DNA of prostate cells, which can lead to uncontrolled growth, both benign enlargement, and more terrifyingly, an increased risk of developing aggressive prostate cancer. Smoking also wages a direct war on your circulatory system. It constricts blood vessels and damages their lining, which, as we discussed with sitting, severely impairs blood flow to the pelvic region. Your prostate is being poisoned and starved of oxygen at the same time. Furthermore, smoking depletes your body's supply of crucial antioxidants like vitamin C. These antioxidants are your body's natural army for fighting cellular damage. Smoking effectively disarms your body's own defense forces. And let me be clear, you do not have to be the smoker to be at risk. Regular exposure to secondhand smoke means you are inhaling the same toxic chemicals, and your prostate is paying the price. If you are a smoker, quitting is the single most powerful thing you can do for your overall health. I know it's incredibly difficult. Please talk to your doctor. There are more tools, support systems, and therapies available now than ever before. The benefits to your prostate begin almost immediately. As circulation improves and the toxic load decreases, your body's natural healing processes can finally start to take over. If you don't smoke, be vigilant about avoiding secondhand smoke. It's not just about politeness, it's about protecting your long-term health. This one decision is a powerful shield for your prostate. Now for habit number 4. This is a habit of inaction, a passive mistake that allows small, manageable problems to grow into large, serious ones. Habit number 4, skipping regular health screenings. There's a certain mindset, particularly among men of a certain generation, to avoid the doctor unless something is broken or actively hurting. It's the "if it ain't broke, don't fix it" philosophy. But when it comes to prostate health, this is one of the most dangerous approaches you can take. The prostate is an internal organ. It can enlarge, become inflamed, or even develop cancerous growths for months or years without producing any dramatic, obvious symptoms. The initial changes are subtle. Regular health screenings are not for when you feel sick. They are a tool to look under the hood and detect problems before they make you feel sick. Catching a problem early is the entire game. When BPH is caught in its early stages, it can often be managed and even reversed with the simple lifestyle changes we're talking about in this video. But if it's ignored for years, the enlargement can become so significant that it requires medications with serious side effects or even invasive surgery. Some men avoid screenings because they feel embarrassed or uncomfortable discussing urinary or sexual health issues. Please let me reassure you, as doctors, we have these conversations every single day. There is absolutely nothing you can say that will surprise or embarrass us. We are here to help, not to judge. The sooner you speak up about a small change you've noticed, the more options you have. Delaying a conversation out of fear or embarrassment is how small problems become big regrets. A yearly check-up that includes a discussion about your prostate health is not an inconvenience. It is the single best investment you can make in your quality of life for the decades to come. It's about proactive maintenance, not reactive repair. Don't wait for the check engine light to be flashing red. Be the man who takes his health seriously enough to get a regular tune-up. Your future self will thank you for it. We are now in the top 3. These are major lifestyle factors that have a profound impact on your entire body. Habit number 3, eating too much red meat. For many men, a meal isn't a meal without a piece of beef, pork, or lamb at the center of the plate. It's a staple of the American diet. And enjoying a quality steak or a burger from time to time is not the issue. The problem is the frequency and the type of red meat that has become standard in our diets. Decades of research have drawn a clear line connecting a high intake of red meat, and especially processed meats like bacon, sausage, and deli cold cuts, to inflammation and an increased risk of prostate problems. There are several reasons for this. First, red meat is high in a substance called arachidonic acid. Your body can convert this acid into inflammatory compounds that directly irritate the prostate. Second, The high levels of saturated fat found in red meat can negatively impact your hormone balance, potentially increasing levels of hormones that stimulate prostate cell growth. And when we talk about processed meats, the problem gets even worse. They are loaded with sodium, chemical preservatives like nitrates, and other compounds that are known to cause inflammation and oxidative stress. In older adults, our digestive system also naturally slows down. Red meat is dense and harder for the body to break down and process. This can contribute to poor gut health, which we now know is linked to systemic inflammation throughout the body. The solution is not to become a vegetarian overnight. It's about shifting the balance on your plate. Start by implementing meatless Mondays. Then try to treat red meat as a once-a-week meal, not an everyday staple. When you do eat meat, choose smaller portions of high-quality, grass-fed options if possible. Fill the rest of your plate with anti-inflammatory, prostate-friendly foods. Swap in fatty fish like salmon, which is rich in omega-3s. Eat more plant-based proteins like beans, lentils, and chickpeas. Every time you replace a serving of red meat with a plant-based option, you are making a direct deposit into your body's health account. Your prostate will feel the difference. Habit number 2 is something you can see every time you look in the mirror, and it is one of the most significant risk factors for a host of health problems, including prostate enlargement. Habit number 2, carrying too much belly fat. As we age, it becomes easier to gain weight, especially around the midsection. Many men dismiss this spare tire as a normal part of getting older. It is not normal, and it is incredibly dangerous. That fat around your belly, known as visceral fat, is not just a passive storage of calories. You need to think of it as an active, living organ. It is a hormone-producing inflammation-creating factory that operates 24/7. This visceral fat constantly pumps out inflammatory chemicals called cytokines into your bloodstream. These cytokines travel throughout your body, promoting chronic, low-grade inflammation in nearly every organ system, including your prostate. This constant inflammatory state is a primary driver of prostate enlargement, but it also disrupts your hormones. Belly fat contains an enzyme called aromatase, which converts your testosterone into estrogen. Having higher estrogen levels relative to testosterone is strongly linked to an accelerated growth of the prostate. So, that belly fat is creating inflammation and throwing your hormones out of whack. It's a powerful 1-2 punch against your prostate health. The solution is not a crash diet. It's about making small, sustainable changes. Start with a short, brisk walk every day. Just 15-20 minutes can make a difference. Pay attention to portion sizes. Use a smaller plate. And be ruthless about cutting out sugary drinks. Sodas, sweet teas, and fruit juices are empty calories that go straight to your waistline. Even losing just 5 to 10% of your body weight can lead to a significant reduction in inflammation and a noticeable improvement in your urinary symptoms. Do not ignore the weight around your middle. It is a critical warning sign that your body is under metabolic stress. Trim it down, and you will feel the relief not just in how your pants fit, but in your prostate too. And that brings us to habit number 1. This is the habit that underlies almost all the others. It's the one we so often ignore, dismissing it as just a part of modern life. But it is the most powerful silent driver of prostate inflammation. Habit number 1, not managing chronic stress. When you hear the word stress, you might think of a single bad day at work or a traffic jam. But I'm talking about chronic stress, the low-grade, persistent anxiety that hums in the background of your life, worrying about finances, stressing about your family's health, feeling lonely or disconnected, constantly watching the negative news cycle. When your mind perceives a threat, whether it's a real physical danger or a persistent worry, your body enters fight or flight mode. It releases a flood of stress hormones, most notably cortisol. In the short term, this is a lifesaver, but when it becomes a chronic day in, day out state of being, it is devastatingly inflammatory. High cortisol levels disrupt your immune system, impair digestion, and wreck your hormonal balance. But it also has a direct physical effect on your prostate. Chronic stress causes you to unconsciously tighten your pelvic floor muscles. Think of it as a constant, low-level clenching. This tension acts like a physical clamp around the base of your bladder and prostate. It restricts blood flow, irritates the delicate nerves in the area, and can lead to pelvic pain and worsened urinary symptoms. You can eat the perfect diet and exercise every day, but if your body is marinating in stress hormones, you are fighting a losing battle against inflammation. This is why managing stress is not a luxury. It is not some soft advice. It is a biological necessity for your health. The good news is the solutions are simple and accessible to everyone. Start with your breath. When you feel tense, stop and take 5 slow, deep belly breaths. This simple act can switch your nervous system out of fight or flight and into rest and digest. Spend time in nature. Even 10 minutes in a park can lower cortisol levels. Connect with people you care about. Laughter and social connection are powerful anti-stress medicines. Find a quiet activity you enjoy, whether it's reading, listening to music, or working on a hobby, and protect that time fiercely. This is the single most important habit because it creates the foundation for all other healing to occur. When you lower your stress, you lower inflammation. You improve your sleep. You make better food choices. It is the master lever you can pull today to start shrinking your symptoms and stopping prostate growth in its tracks. It is the path to a calmer mind and a calmer, healthier prostate. So, we've counted down all 10 habits, from the water you forget to drink to the stress you hold on to without realizing it. And now you're at a crossroads. The question is, what will you do with this knowledge? The most common mistake is to feel overwhelmed. To look at this list of 10 things and think, it's too much to change. But that's not the goal. The goal is to understand that your current health is simply the sum of your past habits, which means your future health is the sum of the habits you choose to start today. You hold all the power. Don't try to change all 10 things tomorrow. That's a recipe for failure. Instead, I want you to choose one, just one single habit from this list that resonated with you. Maybe it's the simplest one. Maybe you'll decide that starting tomorrow, you're going to stand up from your chair every 30 minutes. That's it. Or maybe you'll commit to swapping that second cup of coffee for an herbal tea. Start with one small, achievable victory, because that one victory will build momentum and it will prove to you that you can take back control. These aren't just small changes. They are powerful signals you send to your body that you are choosing health, that you are choosing to fight inflammation, that you are choosing a future with fewer symptoms, better sleep, and more comfort. Don't wait. The time to start is right now. Remember to check out the Senior Health Tracker app linked below. It's a simple tool to help you stay consistent with that one new habit you choose. And finally, if this video gave you even one new idea or a little bit of hope, I need you to do 3 simple things for me. First, like this video so I know it was helpful. Second, leave a comment below and tell me which one habit you're going to start with this week. Reading your commitments inspires this entire community. And most importantly, if you are a man over 60 who wants to take control of his health, please click that subscribe button and the notification bell. And share this video with the men in your life, your brothers, your friends. You are not alone on this journey. Thank you for investing this time in yourself. Take care of your body, and it will take care of you.